Good morning, Facebook world. Hope you guys have had an amazing weekend as I have, as you can tell from my voice. So we just came off the 20th Ultimate 48-Hour Author Retreat, where we helped 16 people become published authors. Well, there will be soon. Good morning, Kitty and Aldwin. Lovely to see Aldwin just sent me a message on Facebook saying that her head is still spinning. She just got back to the Gold Coast from retreat. She's the author of soon-to-be book called Good News Sells. So that'll be an awesome one. So guys, let me just do all the sharing in a couple of groups that I normally do, and then we can progress onto content, because just as I was sitting here, not that I had a lot of time to prepare, I prepared my top 10 of what I'm going to talk about in this topic, which you yet don't know, right? But we'll get started in a moment. So let me just do my sharing into my groups. For those of you that don't know this, you can share a live stream while it's happening live, which is what I'm doing right now on my other computer, and that way this live stream can be viewed across a couple of groups and all that sort of stuff. So let me copy a couple of things here. All right, I'm just going to do UBS Live. Okay. How was your weekend, everybody? Hey, Hannah. Hannah's also fresh off. You left yesterday. You didn't give me a hug. I was like, where did she go? She didn't say goodbye. And, you know, because I gave Tasha a hug, and I didn't give you one. But I'm sure you were there in spirit giving me a hug. All right, one more group to share it in, and then we'll get started. Literally got out of bed 20 minutes ago. In case you can't see, I recycled my makeup last night. And I'm going to UBS Live. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, cool. Here we go. We're live. Good morning, Jillian and Michelle. Michelle's one of our past authors. I think she was at about retreat number 10. You're still laughing thinking about the candle trick. It wasn't a trick. It was to make an awesome point, right? Awesome. So it looks like a few of my authors have joined us this morning from past and present and very recent retreats. And actually today at 1 o'clock, I've got one that will be coming to the May retreat, coming to get prepped. But anyway, I wanted to come on live today. Stuart said talk about, you know, the power of retreats and all that kind of stuff. And I've done that before after a retreat, and I can do it certainly at another time. But I kind of, what's really important, and I usually talk about topics that I'm thinking about at the present time. And this one came up for me in terms of what I'm going through right now. Right now, I've just done a month. My year started literally 1 month and 2 days ago. And since then, I've been to Dubai for 9 days. I've been to Canberra, to Sydney, to Hobart. I've hosted a 2-day masterclass and my retreat. So it's crammed in a lot, and a lot of flights and all of that. On Thursday, we're going to New Zealand. Next week, after that, it's Perth and Adelaide. After that, it's 2 weeks in Queensland. And after that, it's America. So it's still not, like, I think I'm into a third of this crazy stint that I've never, I think, had before as busy as this. So I thought the obvious question to answer, which is the question I often get asked by many, many people, is, good morning, Nat, where do you get the energy from? So that's the most commonly asked question whenever I bump into people networking, whenever I'm around my clients. You know, people say, I get exhausted watching you. Like, you're doing it, but I get exhausted watching your social media. So I thought I'd cover that off. And of course, to cover that off, I had to sit down and map out, ask myself, well, where do I get my energy from, and what is it that keeps driving me? And I've actually have added in different things over the years to keep tapping into more energy and vitality and all that kind of stuff. So I'm gonna, this list is not in order, it's kind of random, so I'm going to start from the top and talk about each and every one point, and then perhaps you guys can, at your end, work out, am I doing this? Am I not doing this? How can I do this better? Should I bring this into my life? Because these are my top 10 They don't need to be your top 10, but for all of you who've been asking me where do I get my energy from, then you're going to find out a list of 10 things. I'm sure there might be 2 or 3, but these are kind of the top of mind things that I believe where it all comes from. And good morning to Gerda and Kelly. All right, you guys. So number 1 is exercise. All right, so it's an obvious one, but it's actually not as hard as what people may think, and it's not as much as what you may think I'm doing. About 2.5 years ago, I decided to engage my personal trainer, who you know as Andrea Dix, as she comes to my house twice a week. Not this morning. This morning is our usual morning on a Monday at 7:15, but she actually changed it on Tuesday for me, and I'm so glad she did because I got to cram in my 12 hours of sleep after retreat, and I'll just go and do it after this and my own personal one, and then tomorrow she'll come. So she comes over for twice a week for half an hour. So she splashes me out, and I have stayed committed to her for 2.5 years. The second two lots of exercise, so I'm committed to do 2 lots of exercise, 4 times a week exercise, and I have not failed to do those 4 times in 2.5 years. I'll tell you why. Not because years ago I learned from a mentor of mine that it takes 1,000 times or 2 to 3 years of repetition to build a new neural pathway, right? And to build a new neural pathway and to make something seem like it's like you're brushing your teeth every single day, you're going to, and that you'll stick it out and you'll feel like it's missing out of your life. So at that time, when I committed to my personal trainer, I go, I'm going to be working with her for at least 3 years. And so I'm at about the 2.5 year mark, maybe a little bit less. And I have not missed it. I said, I'm going to do this and I'm going to build this neural pathway. And it currently does seem like it's sitting like it's totally like my daily routine. But the other 2 times a week, I actually don't do massive amounts of exercise. I actually complete what I don't call it, but it's the 7-minute workout. And I'll show you the app that I use. Hopefully you guys can see it. Get out of here. Okay, it's this little green app here. Oh, here, I don't know where I'm pointing. But it's the little green app. It's got the 7 in the middle. It's the 7-minute workout. And I do 2 of those a week. Like, it's intense. When you start doing it, you're nearly dying at the end of it. But I do 2 of those and then twice a week with my personal trainer. So that adds up to a grand total of 1 hour and 14 minutes, right? 1 hour and 14 minutes a week. But you've got to commit to it. And whenever I'm on holidays and all that kind of stuff, I'm committed to it. I added this in 2.5 years ago because I realized going on the road and traveling and getting on planes and getting off planes and all that sort of stuff so often would be it is so draining and tiring, and you feel sluggish. So when you're doing exercise, it gives you this boost of energy. So I don't do exercise for weight loss or getting slim or whatever. I do it so I can tap into more energy reserves. There's hair in my, when you look at live, it's the opposite direction. You don't know where your hair is to get it off your face. Okay, so that, and I've also been going to the chiropractor for the last 8 years since I had my son. See, it's there, it's annoying me. Since I had my son, and the kids go with me once a month, and my chiro kind of has really kept us healthy and strong and aligned and all that kind of stuff. So I that's another thing I add on to that. So that's what I'm going to say about exercise. You don't have to do masses of it, but you got to commit to a certain type and a certain amount. And of course, at other times when I'm on holidays, I do like swimming and could be climbing and playing with the kids and all that incidental kind of stuff that happens. Second thing, this is a new thing that I've brought into my life to tap into even more energy. So those of you who have joined us a little bit late, the ultimate question that people always ask me over the last 8 years is, where do I get all my energy from? Okay, and I'm going through a list of 10 things that I basically pulled together, because if you can hear my voice a bit funny, it's because we've just been arrived home after the 20th Ultimate 48 Hours Retreat, and there was a lot of fun and dancing and exhaustion and singing and all that sort of stuff. So that's why it's a little bit funny. Plus, I just slept for 12 hours. Which is point number 3, but I'll go to point number 2 first of all. Meditation. Okay, so early December, someone told me about this other app, right? Love those apps that hold you accountable, but it's this one. It's the One Giant Mind. One Giant Mind, if you guys can see it. All right. So One Giant Mind, it's got like a 12-step like how-to course. You do it over 12 days. Then it's got 30-day challenge. You do it for 30 days. And then it's got like kind of your daily thing that you're doing. And so I just started doing it early December when my 2-month break after, with kids on school holidays was to start building that habit. And to this day, like now it's been 3 months later, I've only really missed 3 or 4 days in a whole 3.5 months. It's really cool. I do 15 minutes a day, either before or after my exercise, so I bundle it up. I clustered those 2 activities together. And good morning, Steve. I can't wait to see you up in Cairns soon. And I bundle those 2 things up. And so if I'm doing my 7-minute workout, my 15-minute meditation, that's 22 minutes. And when I do my half an hour one, then that's 45 minutes out of my morning. And I'm just going to do everything in order, and then I have breakfast, and off I go for the day, right? So that's one that I've brought in. A lot of people have been talking about meditation for many, many years, and a lot of times I've got, I really need to do that. But I don't know, like I'm like a bit of a pocket rocket, and I don't know if I can calm my mind down and all that kind of stuff. But I'm really enjoying it, and I think I'm doing it right. So I highly recommend that app. Doesn't cost anything. Again, these couple of things that I recommended, they don't cost any money. So that's my second thing that I do to answer the most asked question. Where do you get all your energy from that? Good morning, Anita and James. So number 3 is sleep, all right? I told you I slept last night for 12 hours. Now, that's not my normal. Like, I hope you don't think that I'm going to recommend you sleep for 12 hours. Like, you'll basically get nothing done, and also you'll be even more sleepier. But the reason I slept for 12 hours, of course, is because I just came off an intense retreat, and I just basically fell asleep at 8 o'clock, and I woke up at 8 o'clock, and my body needed it because all of this needs to now clear, and I needed to just catch up on a couple of days, which we know sleep cannot be caught up. But in some ways, sometimes we need to sleep longer. However, I do have a very regimented amount. Like, I actually am not one of those people that sleeps only 5 or 6 hours. I love 7 to 8. If I have anything less than 7, it's like I start to freak out. Oh my God, I haven't had enough sleep. So I do, hey Kel, I do have like a bedtime of between 10:30 and 11:30. And I always get up 7 or 8 or something like that. Now, some of you might think that's super late, but for me, I'm not a morning person. And sometimes I can stay up till midnight if it's the weekend or whatever it is. But I get my 7 to 8 hours sleep, and sometimes I will get on the weekend, if I know I can sleep in, I'll do more. And I can fall asleep anytime. Like, I can have like that cat nap or even a 2-hour big nap on a Saturday afternoon. So I've got sleep sorted, and I know some people have a lot of issues with sleep. So I'm grateful I don't, and that I can just go, you know what, I can fall asleep, and if I need to set an alarm clock and, come back on. So sleep is very important to energy, as we all know. So that's my third one. Now I'm going to talk a little bit about time and purpose. Okay. Yes, kitty cat now. All right. So we're moving now away from sort of practical and everyday kind of things you can do, and starting to think deeper about life. Okay, life and what our purpose is and all that. So number 4 I put down here is purpose. So I believe if you're doing what you love, and that it gives you, it's almost like becomes like a drug that keeps you wanting to do more of it, and helping all of these guys behind me. See, this bloody image is mirrored. I hate it. I don't know where I'm pointing, but all of these guys at the back, it makes me want to do it more and more and more, and discovering new people, and yes, getting on the flights and going to the odd parts of the world and meeting different cultures and encountering all of those challenges and all that kind of stuff is, tiring. But when I get to do that, and people say, you've changed my life, and I can see how first I changed my own life, then I changed their lives, and then I'm changing, and all of that is impacting. I truly feel what they say is that I'm on purpose and that I'm fully aligned. So when you have that, you don't need as much energy, or you somehow find it from the depths within you to do the things that you do, right? So when I was working in a day job, I was actually really good at my day job and being in management and retail management in the optical industry. and I was still full of energy, but I almost felt like some of my energy was being wasted away. It was, by the way, if you guys have, can you blow out a candle? Steve, don't reveal some of these things, because my future authors who are coming, no one is allowed to know what we do at retreat, even though we do share a bit. But for some reason, even though we share a bit on social media with live streams, the upcoming authors never get to see those things. It's actually really fresh for them when they come along. All right, so when I was working in the optical industry, and I worked there, and I was really good at what I did, and I enjoyed my job and all that sort of stuff, and I was there for 12 years. But still, there were days like I'd get so exhausted and tired, because sometimes I'd be so organized and get everything that needed to be done, and all I had to do is then serve customers or whatever, and sometimes it would be quiet. And I would think to myself, oh my God, I could do so much more. Like I have so much more within me to give or to create, or like I just felt the time was just being wasted in certain moments when he wasn't busy and all that sort of stuff, because I was always the type of person who'd like to get all her work done as soon as the day gets started, get all the tasks, all your whatever list you had for each and every day, and then know that I could just be there for the customers and not be distracted by little tasks that I haven't ticked off or all of that. And that's how all of my stores were like running so smoothly, and we would be able to hang out with the staff and enjoy ourselves and have a laugh because we had done all of our work pretty much. So that's what I'm going to say. If you're on purpose and doing the things and you are, so there's this triangle of happiness that I talk about, and the triangle of happiness needs three things. Well, in life, to be happy, we need three things. So we need income, we need lifestyle, and we need contribution, right? And contribution is the one that is often the hardest to arrive at and sort of have fulfilled. So contribution is when we help other people and they're grateful and we've made a difference in their life in whatever we're doing. You don't have to be changing their life as a coach or whatever, but you're adding value to their life and they're happy in regards to that. So that's the three things that I needed to arrive at to feel in full alignment. All right, let's go number five. Number five here, not number four. Organization, being organized, okay? So last year, you guys know I did a big house declutter. By the way, that's probably another reason. I didn't add that on the list. Let's talk about that. I declutter my house twice a year. Once my last retreat for the year finishes, I literally go into a non-event season of almost 2 months. And I spend the time doing all sorts of handyman tasks, like I paint fences and deckings and walls and do all sorts of little tasks that get my head away from, like, what I normally do in the business. It's a form of meditation, if you like, building things and all that kind of stuff, and also decluttering every single cupboard in the house, because then I know I'm getting ready and preparing for a year full of things that I need to get to, and I can't waste time looking for stuff. If I go into any of the wardrobes, I know exactly all my stuff. I know how to pack in like 10 minutes and be at an event, at a speaking gig, and still have everything in my kit, right? So being and decluttering everything saves me so much time. Therefore, it saves me on energy, and it allows me to just go boom, 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 get on these flights, get on these things, and get out there, right? So pardon me. So organization is super important in terms of saving on energy, because we feel drained. Even if you can't find something on your computer in like 3 seconds that you need, it drains you. You start getting all flustered and nervous, especially if someone's next to you, like, oh, I'll find this file and all that, and then you can't find the file. And I can see it because it's happened to many people next to me. And then obviously in your home, if you're not looking for something and you can't find it, and you start to, just like feel really crappy. So you're wasting that energy. So highly recommend, keep a minimal kind of setup, lifestyle, all that sort of stuff. And it just keeps your mind super clear and you know exactly where things are. And I love labeling stuff as well. So Amy would be loving me saying all of that sort of stuff. Okay, so organization, so building in buffers. So what do I mean by that? So buffers I build into timing. So if I have tonight, for example, I'm going to be speaking at the Professional Speaking Association monthly event, and that sort of starts at 6:30. But I'm going to leave my house at 4 p.m. to get there by 5 in case I hit any traffic, right? And even if I arrive early, I know I can catch up on some messages, emails, and all that sort of stuff in that foyer there. I know that I can set up my room in peace because there's some kind of a pre-session anyway, a CSB session that I can attend to around 5 o'clock-ish. And so I build in all these buffers so I never arrive late anywhere, which means that I don't get flustered again. You know, the more flustered or stressed we get about not finding stuff and not arriving on time to places, the more energy we're wasting, right? I hope that you guys agree with me. So building in buffers in anything, I have never, in the time of having 3 children, been late anywhere. Never have I used my children as an excuse to be late anywhere. So it's almost like I work in all of this time. I start way earlier than I would need to. For example, this week I'm getting ready for the New Zealand Global Speakers Summit. I'm going on Thursday. And I will be getting ready for that for 3 days, not on the last day, in the last 5 hours packing for it, even though I know I could. No, I'll be doing a little bit today, a little bit tomorrow, and so that the days are quite cruisy so that I'm not over-exhausted, nervous, or have I forgotten anything, so that I can go and be ready for that major sponsorship that I'm having over there, plus practicing my special speech that I'm doing, which I'm not going to reveal right now. All right, number 6 is, so let's go through. So some of you guys have joined a little bit late, so we're talking about the most asked question over the last 8 years is where do you get your energy from, Nat? Okay, and we went through now, and go back and listen, but we've gone through exercise, meditation, sleep, purpose, and organization. We're on to number 6, and that is financial organization. All right, I didn't know I had to call this one. I kind of think about I think about how do I approach finances. You know, every year I sit down, I do a budget, the home budget, the business budget, overall, all that kind of stuff. I'm always the first person to be into my accountant's, handing in my work into my accountant. Like on the 2nd of July, that stuff is in. My pay-as-you-go stuff is paid in the minute I've done the quarterly or whatever accounts. I'm always doing my bookkeeping within the first 7 days of the month. Why am I telling you this, and why does it give me more energy? It's because, you know, if you're organized and you don't owe money to anyone, you're not going to be stressed. And if you're not stressed, you're going to have more energy, right? And also you're not going to be stressed that, you know, you're going to get bills and I'm not sure if I can pay these. And within financial organization, I also have told people is that I build in buffers as well. So what I mean, like, well, if I stopped and I didn't have any sales or you needed to take some time off for the next 1 to 2 years, I have built in that buffer to be able to do that, to be safe in regards to that, so not to stress in that way. And that comes from my family background and upbringing, always teaching me you got to save for that rainy day and have that's called the black fund, you know, if it's translated from Macedonian, and you have all of that. So financial organization is important to energy. And I have always been like this. Don't think that just because you guys see more of success and financial abundance or whatever around what I do, I've been like this like for all my life. I've done budgets since I was 15 years old. When I was like barely, I don't even think I had a job at 15. I think my first job was at 18. So I've done it all throughout, and I have always saved up for things and never paying for anything on credit. Always make the money, then go and do your reward or whatever thing. I'm nearly back from New Zealand, so looking forward to it. Yay, Kitty, we're going! And we were on the same flight. I was almost going to ask you the other day, can I borrow 2 or 3 of your kilos in your luggage? But then I ended up buying a whole second bag of 23 kilos. But because being the major sponsor, there's no way I can carry clothes and enough stuff for my sponsorship in 23 kilos. So I bought 2, and I've just solved my problem. You know, you guys, let me tell you something, because a lot of you who listen to me are speakers, and you know how you got your pull-up banner. Your pull-up banner is kind of really important to take to places for speaking, because it immediately makes your room branded as your room, right? And so last year when I was in Perth, like I went all over Australia and I could take it as hand luggage, right? Because it's like this long thing, doesn't fit in the luggage. And so I got on the plane. I was going through the X-ray things in Perth, but my Virgin flight was going through international this time. And through international, you cannot take banners or certain length of things through national or state, domestic, sorry. You can take them, and so I know all these tricks now. But they made me check it in, and I had to pay $80 to check in a second piece of luggage. And I was like so upset. I hate paying for extra luggage. That's the one of my pet hates. But I worked out. So then I bought, now going internationally to New Zealand this week, I said to Stuart, oh my God, how are we going to pack this banner? I've bought a second bag, which is 23 kilos. I actually need, the banner's only 2 kilos, by the way. And I actually need more room, like I need to use the other 21 kilos, but then it's a third piece of luggage. So I was like thinking, oh my God, do we get boxes, and do we sort of, like, I don't have a bag that long. And this morning, as I was like waking up, I go, oh my God, I remember I've got those skis bags, you know, because we actually took skis to New Zealand because we went skiing, and they're super, super long, like they're longer than the banner. I go, yeah, I said to Stuart, I solved another problem. I said, I'm putting my banner in that ski bag, and I'm filling the rest of the ski bag with my clothes or whatever, and I can put product in my other bag, and I can take my 2 bags across. So I was really excited. So if you do have pull-up banners that you travel with, you can take them on domestic flights on hand luggage, but you can't, with Jetstar you can't, so with Virgin and Qantas you can. With Jetstar you have to check it in and be part of your kilos, because they give you as many pieces, but you have to be at your kilos that you've bought. But international, you cannot take them. Sorry, that was just a little business tip as an extra. But I am going to look to invest in a bag that's going to fit my banner. I'm going to use a ski bag for a banner. Yeah, because I didn't want to do boxes, Kitty, because it was going to be like it's going to break, and you can't, there's no handle and all that. Anyway, so financial organization was the last point I was going to make. And then number 7 is the people I surround myself around now, inclusive of people I network with, socialize with, and my clients. So you guys would know that we have, well, I've said this in the past, but you would know that we have a no dickheads policy, right? So we actually vet our clients on obviously what they want to write about and all that, but certainly on personality as well. Okay, so the authors that are watching right now would probably agree that the people that were at this retreat just gone were just amazing, wonderful, beautiful people to be surrounded by. And by surrounding myself with people like that and continuing to tap into networks where people inspire me and are kind and honest and giving and all of that sort of people, wouldn't that give you more energy? Well, I certainly think it would, because Julianne says, yep. I certainly think that our energy also comes from people, and we know when sometimes we may have had a friend in the past or an associate that were a drainer, right? And you walk away from your interaction with them and you go, oh my God, could they have said any more negative things? Woe is me, da 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 da. So definitely do not spend any time, and I choose who I will socialize with, who I would invite to my house and all that kind of stuff. And so that's a really, really important point, is surround yourself in networks and your clients and choose them to be amazing. As Kitty says, she gains energy from me, as I do from you, because you're a little pocket rocket as well. All right, number 8 is holidays. All right, so must. I always have to have something to look forward to that's coming up in terms of family time, quality family time, and quantity, if you like, and long ones. So yes, I'm going through a crazy 3.5-month stint now, and I'm really managing and tapping into all of these strategies that I talked about so that I can stay ahead and stay healthy. But long holidays for me truly allow me to rest my mind. So you've got to rest your mind as well as your body, and obviously rest my body and do something that I'm not doing stuff like this, right? That I can be silly, or I can like totally crack it, or, you know, just be a mum, or, you know, just play stupid games and watch stupid TV and all of those things that, you know, I wouldn't spend my time during the business year doing, but it's just we need a bit of stupidness as well in our lives, you know, silliness, and be like a kid and play games and go on different things. Thank you for all the love hearts. Thank you. Hey, Alicia. So holidays, and specifically long ones. So you guys know we've got upcoming, once this stint is finished after the May retreat, we will be taking 2 months off. We will be going to Europe, to Greece, Italy, Macedonia, and Thailand on the way home. And then in December, January, we have another 2 months off. We're going to go on a 10-day holiday in the Gold Coast as well. We have little holidays as well, like we have 4 or 5 day ones as well. But not that all of this is not possible for some of you guys that are listening as yet. Okay, that's the key word, as yet. However, it's possible because I've built up to it over 8 years, and I've organized my year and my peak business periods. I've worked out what are my peak business periods versus what's the really quiet time that I can go and do all of this. Good morning, Sophia, and feel the body as well as the soul with nutrition, plus, of course, all of your tips. Yes, Michelle, nutrition, I haven't got that on my list, but that just goes hand in hand with everything that I have said. Because really, I guess oilies and like, you know, fast food can make you super, super sluggish, right? So super long holidays, and some short ones built in wherever possible. All right, number 9 is time just for me. And that is time where I would have gone on a holiday or a break just with me. So last year I did that after my first Dubai trip. I went to Macedonia and I spent 2.5 weeks, and it was just a completely girlfriends time, going out every night, you know, just enjoying ourselves and being like a teenager or whatever you want to call it. The year before that, I went to Italy with Francesca, and we did 3.5 weeks, you know, sometime with her, and again, sometime with my mum in Greece. So just like kind of time for me. And that really replenishes me and makes me, you know, like the heart makes, the distance makes the heart grow fonder. So, you know, then coming home to Stuart and the kids is so, so, so amazing. So I take that this time, and I did Joy's retreat just at the end of beginning of December. Joy Fairhall, who was one of my mastermind clients, she did like I don't know, nurture your mind and body, something like that retreat. And I went there for 2 nights, 3 days with her, and that was some time for me. So making just that time that is not business, that is personal time. So a personal kind of holiday where I can do whatever, and certainly making the time to just do the massage and usual girly things that we enjoy, you know, just for myself. So that gives me energy as well. So the last one, number 10 on my list, I put down here is family drive. So my family and having my family makes me want to do more, be more, and be that role model. And so just doing things for them and being a person who they can model in the future, because I know some of these traits that I've shared came about because of my mum, because of my dad, because of my aunties that raised me and my grandma. And so so all of these traits come from who they were as people and what I observed and watched through them. So both Stuart and I really look at how we're behaving as a couple, how we're behaving towards our children, how we're behaving in terms of business owners, and being integral to what we say. So if we promise something, we do it. And we always give our kids extra buffers as well in terms of things that are coming up. So at the moment, they're seeing us come and go so much. You know, literally came home yesterday, big hello, welcome back, hugs. And then we'll be saying sort of see you later, hugs again on Thursday. And then again, like that's happening a lot these 3 months. But also we keep talking about the things that we're looking forward to, like the 2 months in May, when we're going to go away. Jaddy's obviously coming to America with just Stuart and I. So we also allocate time to have some one-on-one, breaks and holidays, sometimes if it's possible and it's suitable to the children. So we're taking Jaddy for WrestleMania to the US when we're doing the business tour there. So he's got that to look forward to. I took Mika skiing last year with my mum, just her. So those kind of things. So my family really drives me to do the extra things. I believe the saying of when you have kids, you end up being poor. I think kids make you rich in every way, like not just obviously financial way, but I think it just gives you this drive that you can do more and you become a lot more resourceful. So I trust that all of this that I have said this morning as to the answering of the most commonly and most frequently asked question of where do you get your energy from, that gives you a bit of insight into our life and into my life, and also what you could probably relate it to. And I'm just curious, for those of you that are watching the recording or those of you that are live, what's one thing that I have said that perhaps you don't do but you'd like to bring into your life? Or is there something else of how you get energy? Because I'd love to hear some extra tips. That, by the way, all of these things, they might seem like a list, but they just happen organically. I don't think about them too much. It's just like boom, boom, boom. It's all happening, but I've reverse engineered it so I can deliver it as a topic this morning. So if there's any extra things that you guys do for energy, I'd love to hear. If there is anything that I said this morning, what is the thing that most resonated that you may not be doing right now, but you'd like to get better at or bring into your routine? I'd love to hear that. So it's been amazing to catch up with you guys. I didn't know if I was going to make it this morning. I just basically said to Stuart last night, I'm not putting an alarm clock on. Whenever I wake up, I wake up. I intend to sleep for 12 hours, which I think almost I did to the dot. And I got up and I heard my voice and I go, that's all right. It needs to warm up through speaking anyway. So I am going to go off, do my exercise, do my meditation and do my breakfast, and then get back into, back into the chair, starting to get ready for New Zealand. For those of you that are Melbourne based, I'd love to catch up and see you guys at the next group book launch, which is the 2nd of March. So I'll be back from New Zealand, literally, and it's the group launch. We have 11 authors launching this time in Richmond at the Sporting Globe. It'll be awesome excuse to go out for Friday night drinks, 7 to 10 p.m. I'll post a little link up on my live here. So if you can make it out, come and see us and support the amazing 11 authors. We'll have food, drinks, as well as obviously a choice of your favorite book on the night to take away with you. And in the meantime, have an awesome week, smash it out, and I'll see. Oh, I don't know, maybe I'll come from New Zealand. As long as, well, I have to see, because I'm going to be a sponsor next Monday. And I might do a UBS Live, but may not be at our usual time. I might check in maybe on the Sunday evening instead of the Monday morning. It just depends. It's going to be a crazy 6 days over there. So let's see how we go. And I might just do it impromptu, not at our exact time, because actually New Zealand's 3 hours forward. So it might be later in the day for 9 o'clock Melbourne. Anyway, I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.